How's it going, racing fans? I'm Chip from the Digital Grandstand, and what was that? Well, that was the Spanish Grand Prix, and yeah, that's my reaction to the race. Effectively, it wasn't as bad as Australia, but it was close. It was absolutely the second worst race of 2018. Let's see what happened. Lights out, and Vettel gets the slipstream out of Hamilton's car and manages to get past Bottas out of turn 2. Which was, okay, we have a race on our hands. Vettel versus Hamilton, who started from pole brilliantly. But no. Also, out of turn 3, Magnussen gets a bit out of hand and startles his teammate Grosjean, who, moves to the left-hand side, loses the rears, tries to overcompensate and drops both rear wheels on the gravel, spinning, and, well, he throws the throttle afterwards and moves back to the racing line with, half the field coming towards him. Long story short, Grosjean, Hulkenberg and Gasly are out on the spot. Nasty incident. It was a racing incident. I won't put the blame on neither Grosjean nor Magnussen. But it robbed Grosjean of a fairly decent result, considering what Magnussen went on to achieve, which we'll get to later. 5 laps of safety car later, and the race gets back on the way. By which point Hamilton just roars away from Vettel and the chasing pack. For a moment, Bottas was going to... It felt like Bottas was going to keep up with Vettel, but it lasted 3 laps at most. Then it was a bit of a dull period of racing, with until lap 18, when Ferrari decided something needed to be done. Vettel pits, switching from softs to mediums. But interestingly enough, that first stop for Vettel was a tad slow. So therefore, he came out behind Magnussen. 1 lap later, and Mercedes responds with Bottas. Bottas pits, switching again from softs to mediums. And when he came out of the pits, it was so close between Magnussen, Vettel and Bottas, who was exiting the pit lane. Vettel was right behind Magnussen, and he planted that move as late as humanly possible, moving to the right hand side with the pit lane exit on the right hand side as well, with Bottas coming that way, and he judged it perfectly. Vettel judged it perfectly, passing Magnussen and also startling Bottas, hence the Finn having to, back off a bit and slotting in behind Magnussen. This, of course, was not going to last, as effectively 1 lap later, Bottas passed Magnussen. Lap 25, and Raikkonen was running P2 behind Hamilton, some 15 seconds behind Hamilton, and, well, his engine gave way. His engine expired. First, Verstappen came past, and down the start-finish straight, Ricciardo went past as well. He crawled back to the pits, but at the end of lap 25, Raikkonen was out of the race. it was tough to swallow. I mean, he wasn't having the most brilliant race, but yeah, I genuinely thought Ferrari were going to finish with both cars ahead of both Red Bulls. Lap 28, and there was a brilliant little scrap for P8 between Ericsson, who hasn't stopped yet, who started on mediums with everyone else starting on softs, against Sainz, who had stopped for switching from softs to mediums. Brilliant little scrap, but in the end, Sainz got past Ericsson. Brilliant defensive move, especially defensive move from Ericsson. But obviously, Sainz had that offensive drive. Tremendous racing, tremendous. Lap 31, and Ocon for Force India stops for the first time, and yeah, he has a very slow pit stop with the right rear tire refusing effectively to come off. On lap 34 and 35, the Red Bull spits with Ricciardo first and then Verstappen, which to me it pointed to, well, obviously a one-stop strategy, switching both cars switching from softs to mediums. But I wasn't so sure that Vettel and the two Mercedes were going to do a one-stop race, as it was the case in the end. Lap 41, and to add insult to Force India's injury, Ocon, despite his very slow pit stop, has to retire with gearbox issues. Due to his position on track at the moment, the virtual safety car is called out, and Ferrari, rather, I don't know. It was a mistake, obviously, but I can't seem to find a reason for Ferrari pitting Vettel for a brand new set of mediums, which dropped him between the Red Bulls, ahead of Ricciardo but behind Verstappen. One lap later, and Alonso plants one on LeClerc, who was driving beautifully driving for Sauber. He was P8 at the time. Alonso demoting him effectively to P9. Also, on that very same lap, a bit further up the field, Verstappen damages his front wing, trying to put a lap on Stroll. Yeah, that didn't work out. That didn't work out at all. And yeah, the end plate of Verstappen's front wing was effectively gone. And also, the one person that took advantage of this scruffle was Perez, who passed Stroll for P10, the final point scoring position. Driving with a damaged front wing, Verstappen is told by Red Bull to stay out as long as the balance of the car was alright, and he felt it was. Yeah, with a damaged front wing, he kept Vettel at bay. Top job, Max. Top job. Lap 47 brings us the final retirement of the race in Stoffel Vandoorne, who had a gearbox failure on the start-finish straight. He pulls out just at the exit of the pit lane. The final passing maneuver of the race came on lap 56, with Perez, despite running over that end plate that came off Verstappen's car, he manages to plant one on LeClerc for P9. Top job, Perez. You came P3 in Baku, and now another point-scoring finish for you. Top job, my man. Nothing else happened from that point on to the end of the race, with Hamilton taking the most dominant win in quite a while. Bottas completed a Mercedes 1-2. Verstappen completed the podium for Red Bull, keeping Vettel at bay despite that front wing damage that he sustained, which was, bravo Max. You really needed a good race. It wasn't a clean race necessarily, but it was a good race and a solid result. Vettel was next in P4 ahead of Ricciardo. Then it was my driver of the day, Magnussen for Haas. He finished P6, obviously because of Raikkonen's retirement, but he was miles ahead of Sainz in P7. Miles ahead. Obviously he was miles behind Ricciardo in P5, but a very, very solid race for Magnussen and for the Haas team. Had Grosjean not retired on that first lap incident, Haas would have scored points with both cars, I'm dead certain. So yeah, behind Magnussen there was Sainz, Alonso, Perez and LeClerc completing the top 10. Again, which is a thing I absolutely love about this season particularly. From P6 to P10 there were 5 different teams. Amazing, amazing. The midfield this year is the most competitive since the mid-80s. Amazing, amazing. So that was the Spanish Grand Prix F1 2018. Thank you ever so much for watching. I know it wasn't the most spectacular race with Bahrain, China and Azerbaijan providing, you know, very tense moments and very good racing. Like I've said, Magnussen was my driver of the day. No question about it. But LeClerc did a masterful job defending against the likes of Perez and especially Alonso. Fantastic, fantastic. And I have to give a massive shout out to Hamilton. Hamilton had a race of a champion of sorts this time around. Win from pole. He was constantly over 5 seconds. On occasions, over 10 seconds ahead of the nearest challenger. Fantastic, fantastic race for the Brit. But otherwise, it was a dull race. I make no excuse for this race. It was okay. It wasn't as thrilling as some might have expected. One last thing. That final sector that I said in the preview video is going to be crucial with in regard to the very next race in Monaco. Ferrari and Red Bull. Wow, what a race we're going to have between these two teams, these 4 drivers in Monaco. Mercedes are very much lacking in that department. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Chip from the Digital Grandstand. You can find me on social media. You have the links in the description, Facebook and Twitter. Drop a like if you think I've earned it. Comment with your thoughts of this race. Who is your driver of the day? Let me know, please. Yeah, see you next time, guys. Tune in tomorrow for the live reactions. If you want to see me get really bored. See you next time, guys. Cheers.